Hello friends and welcome to DigiiMento. So today we will be continuing our lecture with the higher education system. We were discussing about the higher education system in the ancient India in ancient times. So we will be continuing with that today. So let's begin. But before that, if you are preparing for GATE, NTA, UGC NET or PGT Computer Science, you can avail our online courses. And the details of these courses, you can find it from our website, that is www.digimento.com, or you can call to this number for getting more details about the courses that we provide. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel, and also please press the bell icon for receiving the notifications. Okay, so yeah, we will just begin the lecture. So we just started our discussion about the higher education system in India. So yesterday we were taking up the first topic of this particular module, that is the institutions of higher learning and education in ancient India. That is during the ancient institutions, or what were the systems of higher education or higher learning in India. So this is what we were discussing. So we will continue with our lecture. So these are the other topics which we will be discussing in this particular module. And if you are watching my lecture, please do let me know. Send me a hi, hello, so that I'll know that you are attending the lecture. So let me know. Hi Lipika, good evening. And if there is any technical issue, then also please let me know. I hope everything is going well. Lipika is asking me why the Sutra literature started. Basically, it is not, we cannot say that it is just a new kind of education and all. Actually, what happened to the education system is that it was evolving over time. Now, the present educational system that we see, it has many aspects which has been derived from the ancient Indian times. So from the ancient India till now, till the date, the education system is evolving gradually. And we can never say that the education system has reached its fullest form or something like that. It will continue to evolve into better models. So we cannot particularly say that the Sutra literature or the that system started all on a sudden, but it was a gradual transformation from the previous educational systems. Hi Yakub, hi Tasveer, hi Sharanya, and hi Vikrant. So again Lipika asking me, it developed after the Vedic period. Okay. So yeah. So these are the other topics which we will be discussing. So yesterday we have already seen these topics. Okay, so you can just have a look. Those who have missed yesterday's lecture, just have a look at the syllabus of the unit 10. So this is the detailed syllabus. So these will be the topics we will be discussing under this unit. No, hi Atira. Tasveer is asking बीच में Hindi भी बोल करो please. I will try. Okay, Lipika. So please go through the syllabus once. Please have a look at the syllabus once. Okay, so we will just see. So a quick revision of yesterday's class. Those who have not attended yesterday's class, a very quick revision. So this is about the education in ancient India. So how education started and all. You can just have a look. So in ancient India, we had both formal and informal ways of education. Okay, then viharas and chaityas, etc. They were Buddhist and Jain monasteries where the monks were living. And there were also universities. The temples were the learning centers. Then the fundamentals of Indian education system. So it had both epistemological, which means knowledge based, and philosophical traditions and knowledge based traditions were followed. The idea of ephemerality of life and the world, then concept of ultimate death, futility of the mundane pleasures. So all these were the important fundamentals or the value system. Then we discussed about the Gurukula system, where the student lived in the house of the Guru and lived. Then Vedic education. So that is after the Indus Valley civilization period, we had the Vedic education. So Veda period also we discussed in some detail. If you have missed the lecture, please do try to watch it. Okay, you can just have a look. Lipika is asking me how is my mother. Thank you so much, Lipika, for asking that. She is better now. Day after tomorrow she has a review, and hopefully everything will go fine. Thank you so much, Lipika, for asking. Thanks a lot. Tasveer is asking me, please value education pe thoda sa bata dijiye. Sure. Value education we will definitely do. I will include that also in the content towards the end. So I think it's already mentioned also in your syllabus. Yes, value education and environmental education is one of your subtopics in the syllabus. So definitely we will cover that topic. We will be going in this order. First, we will cover about the institutions of higher learning and education in ancient India. Then we will come to evolution of higher learning and research in post-independence India. Here we will discuss about certain committees which were formed after the independence. Then we will discuss about the oriental conventional and non-conventional learning programs in India. Then professional, technical and skill-based education. Then value education and environmental education. Then the policies, governance and administration. So we will go in that same order. Definitely we will be covering that. Second last topic is value education. So we will cover that. Don't worry. Okay. So yeah, we were discussing about the Vedic literature, Vedic education and all. Important literature, Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda, and both oral and Chintan. Chintan is thinking. Then Upanayana. Upanayana means a person during the childhood itself has to leave the family and go to his guru's house for gaining knowledge. Then we discussed about brahmacharya or celibacy, which was not compulsory, but if a student had to reside in the guru's house, then he or she has to practice brahmacharya. Okay. So you can just go through. Then varnas. Tasveer is asking me what is today's topic. We will be continuing with education system in ancient India. Okay. Then yesterday we discussed about sutras and epics. Epics is Mahabharata and the Ramayana. These are the two epics. You can go through. Then we discussed about 6 systems of philosophy. I'm just revising it because many students missed yesterday's class. That's why I'm revising it one more time. Then we discussed about epics of ancient India, Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Then yes, this is very important. I told you yesterday only that these are some of the famous or popular universities of the ancient times. That is Taxila, Ujjain, Nalanda, Benares, Ballavi, Ajanta, Madura and Vikramshila. Okay. Lipika is asking me after unit 10 start research aptitude. Yes, after unit 10 is very small. It will I will complete it in maximum 10 days. So after that we are going to research aptitude. Don't worry. Okay. Then about the Buddhist era education. Okay, so Buddhist era education we will start today. Okay. Now, in the Vedic age, yesterday we discussed how this Buddhism and Jainism started getting more importance and all. So, in the Vedic age, the student was given education up to 25 years of age, and after that, he was permitted to go home and lead the life. So, during the Vedic ages, the Gurukula system of education, it provided education up to 25 years. That is, till 25 years, the students were getting education, and after this 25 years, the person or the student was allowed to go back to his house and then lead a normal life. In the Buddhist system, after having received education, the student remained a monk for good and cut off his worldly relationship forever. So this is one of the important features of Buddhist education. So Buddhist education was based on this principle that even after 25 years or even after a person or student completes his education, he was not allowed to go back home. So instead of going back home, the student had to remain as a monk and also has to cut off his worldly relationships. Worldly relationships, your relation with your father, your mother, your siblings, your relatives, your neighbors, your friends, all these are worldly relationship. So Buddhist system of education followed this principle that even after the education was complete, then the student had to remain as a monk and then cut off his worldly relationships. And the aim of Buddhist education was to attain salvation. Salvation means what is that? Salvation meaning is that after death, I will tell you exactly what is meant by salvation. Salvation means that it is believed in the ancient times, and even now in many religion it is believed that there is life after birth, or you will be reborn again and again. But salvation means that the cycle of life and death. Cycle of life and death means a person is born, died, again reborn, then died, then reborn, then died, then again reborn. Like this, the cycle continues. Now salvation means that a person will be relieved out of this cycle of birth and death, which means he is getting salvation. So the aim of Buddhist education, it was mainly philosophical in nature, and it said that the aim of this kind of education was to help the students or help the people to attain salvation, to get the freedom from birth and death, that cycle of birth and death. Now, Suttanta, Vinaya and Dhamma. These were the main subjects prescribed for study in Buddhism. It is commonly known as Sutta Pidika, Vinaya Pidika and Dhamma Pidika. So these were the important subjects, and these Sutta Pidaka, Vinaya Pidaka and Dhamma Pidaka, it all mentioned about how a person's life should be, or how a behavior of the person should be, or what are the various things the person should do in his life, about the duties of a person and how the conduct of a person should be. Okay. Now, I will also tell you some of the Buddhist philosophies. I remember it as V R S Clerm, CLERM. Actually, this is my shortcut. You can make your own shortcut. Okay. So these are like 3, 6 and 8. So these are the 8 principles of Buddhism mainly. Okay, I don't remember everything now, but I'll just explain whatever I remember. V is right vision. Then R is I don't really remember all the philosophies, but these eight are there. So vision is there. Then C is for conduct. Then I will just refer it and then come back to you with this. So there were some basic principles in Buddhism. So these principles were to be followed, like right vision, right conduct, right kind of behavior with others. So all these things were there. And also Buddhism and Jainism both, it was against the materialistic pleasures, like the worldly pleasures. For example, gaining so much wealth. So this is a kind of materialistic pleasure. So Buddhism and Jainism were against all these. So this is all through all the ways through which a person can attain salvation. So according to Buddhism and Jainism, these are the various methods by which a person can attain salvation. Now, apart from Sutta Pidaka, Vinaya Pidaka and Dhamma Pidaka, there were other subjects which were taught in the Buddhist schools. It was spinning, weaving, printing of clothes, sketching, medicine, surgery, coinage. So all these were also apart from philosophy. It was not just philosophical, but apart from philosophy, these other subjects were also taught in the Buddhist schools. Okay. Next is the Buddhist schools also emphasized much on the practice and training for pure character. So emphasized on pure character. That is what we said. Certain conducts were to be followed. So example is not to steal, not to gain so much wealth. So all these were some of the principles or values which were taught in Buddhist schools, and which also helped them to become a better person or a better character. Okay. Next, on the beginning, Pratipada and beginning is called Pratipada, that is the beginning, and then on the close, that is Purnima of each month, learned people used to assemble together, which was very important part of Buddhist education. So this was another feature of Buddhist education, that in the beginning of a month and at the end of a month, thus learned people, they used to assemble together. And this was an important feature of the Buddhist education. So the beginning of the month is called Pratipada, and the closure is called Purnima. Okay. Now I'll take up some questions. Tasveer has asked me, what is your channel name? I think I have subscribed it, but yet not know. It's my own channel, Telegram channel name is Joycey Joy Official. JoyCyJoy. Joycey Joy Official. Tasveer means, Tasveer says that salvation means Mufti Pana. Yeah, it's a kind of, we can say yes, Mukti, yes. Hi Rani. Hi Kaushalya. So any doubts from what we were learning till now? So any doubts? Anything to be clarified? Okay, we will continue. Then in higher education, religion, philosophy, military science, medicine and other difficult subjects were taught. So this is the case of higher education. And many monasteries, viharas were set up for monks and nuns to meditate, debate and discuss with the learned for the quest of knowledge. It's knowledge. E is missing, sorry. So many monasteries, viharas, that is what we said, viharas and chaityas. So viharas were set up for the monks and nuns to meditate, debate and discuss with the learned for the quest of knowledge, quest for knowledge. Educational centers of higher learning attracted students from China, Korea, Tibet, Burma, Ceylon, Java, Nepal and other distant countries, which means that this foreign education, the culture of foreign education prevailed even in the ancient times. The students from other countries came to India to get the Buddhist education. Now we will see here that these countries like China, which is mentioned here, China, Korea, Tibet, Burma, Ceylon, Java, Nepal and all. So these countries are also countries with very good base of Buddhist. So Buddhism is a very popular religion in these countries, and one reason can be that those students from these countries often visited India or stayed in India in the ancient times itself or from the ancient times itself to get knowledge from the Buddhist schools. Sharanya is asking me, is there any critical question there? Your question is not clear. Critical question. Okay, can you elaborate your question, please? Okay, next we will discuss about the educational centers and universities of ancient India. So here we will see each university in detail. Some of the important universities of ancient India. First one is Taxila, and Taxila is a very, very important ancient university. So Taxila, it's also called Taxila. So Taxila. So Taxila University was established in the 5th century in the northwestern Pakistan. So northwestern Pakistan, and Taxila was the capital of Gandhar kingdom or Gandhara kingdom, and this is the world's oldest university. This is very, very important. So this shows the culture of India or the importance of cultural history of India. So Taxila or Taxila is the world's oldest university, and also some of the well-known graduates of this university include Chanakya, Panini, Charaka, Vishnu Sharma, Jivaka, very important. Jivaka was a doctor. Okay, so these are some of the well-known graduates from this university, Taxila or Taxila. So this is the world's oldest university. So this is one thing that we can be really, really proud of. So we had, so now it's in the northwestern Pakistan, but in the undivided India, it was in India only. So we have the world's oldest university. Hi Puvidi, hi Dilip. Okay, so I hope this is clear for you. Taxila. Next one is Nalanda. Again, Nalanda, very, very important university. It was established in the 5th century. So, 5th century. Then, famous cultural and education center of northern India, and Nalanda was in Bihar. So, it was one of the famous cultural and educational center of northern India. So, this is in Bihar, and this is dedicated to Buddhist studies, but also taught fine arts, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, politics, and the art of war. So basically Nalanda University is dedicated for Buddhist studies, Buddhism related studies, Buddhist or Buddhism related studies. But it also teaches fine arts, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, politics, and also the art of war. And at zenith in the hands of kings of Gupta dynasty, which means that the Nalanda University flourished and it reached its zenith, that is the topmost position during the rule of the Gupta dynasty, during the Gupta kingdom. Huanzang is a famous pilgrim from China, studied and taught for 5 years in the 7th century in the Nalanda University. So Huanzang was a famous foreigner who visited India to learn about the Buddhism related things, and he's a very famous pilgrim from China, and he studied and taught in this university for almost 5 years in the 7th century. So this is again very important, Huanzang. Okay. Any doubts? Next is Vallabhi. It is the capital seat of the Maitraga kings, and it's known for its training in secular subjects and had students from all over, which means again it had students from all over the world. So it is known for its training in secular subjects, and also it had students from all over the world. Then we have Huanzang, who is again the foreigner who visited India. Huanzang, I think they too had found Vallabhi in the western side of India as glorious as Nalanda, and students from every part of India would flock there for education. So again, Vallabhi was a very, very important ancient educational institution in India. And Vallabhi was the capital seat of Maitraga kings. Okay, and Nalanda, remember, it's connected to Guptas because basically it was during the Gupta period that the Nalanda University flourished to its today's glory. Next we have Vikramshila. So Vikramshila was established by the famous emperor Dharampala of Pal dynasty. Pal dynasty is also known as Pala dynasty. So Pal dynasty, also called Pala dynasty. Pala dynasty. Okay. So Vikramshila University, this was established by the famous emperor Dharampala of the Pala dynasty. Dharmapal, he is also called Dharmapal. In the 8th century in the northern Magadh on the banks of river Ganges. So Vikramshila University, this is the location. So it was established in the 8th century in the northern Magadh on the banks of river Ganges, Ganga river, okay, river Ganges. And the university was later organized into 6 colleges. So this university got organized into 6 colleges in the later period, and the subjects of study was Vyakaran. Vyakaran means grammar. So subjects of study were Vyakaran, grammar, then logic, then philosophy, Tantra Shastra, and Karamkanda. So these were the subjects of study during that period in the Vikramshila University. Remember, it was then organized into 6 colleges. Okay. Now the Vikramshila University was later destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khilji. So Bakhtiyar Khilji in 1203 AD. So Vikramshila University was destroyed by the Bakhtiyar Khilji in 1203 AD. Okay, then we have Mithila University and Odandapuri, again very important. So Mithila University, they promoted Brahmanical system of education. So Brahmanical system of education, you will understand, or you know that what are the subjects that will be taught under a Brahmanical system of education. It will include subjects like literature, fine arts, scientific subjects, and Nyaya Shastra. Nyaya Shastra is law. So literature, fine arts, scientific subjects and Nyaya Shastra were the subjects which were taught in Mithila University, and they followed a Brahmanical system of education. Next we have Odandapuri. Odandapuri is also very important. This was again established under the Pala dynasty. So established by Dharmapala of Pala dynasty during the late 8th century in Magadha. Why Magadha? Because Magadha was a very strategic location. So Magadha was a very strategic location. It was in the confluence of some of the major rivers also. So most of the important dynasties we will see, they have their capital at Magadha because of the strategic location of that dynasty. And the Odantapuri University could not attain that level of fame and repute which either the Nalanda or Vikramshila had. So as compared to Nalanda University or as compared to Vikramshila University, Odantapuri could not attain that level of fame and repute. So that level of fame and reputation was not attained by the Odantapuri University. So this is about the famous, some of the famous. Next one is Somapura. So again, this is under the developed under the Pala dynasty. So Dharmapala, again Dharmapala of Pala dynasty during the late 8th century, the Somapura was established in Bengal, and it was a major centrism and Hinduism. So it was a major center of learning for Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism also. Next we have Nadia. It is situated at the confluence of Ganges and Jalanji rivers in Bengal. So at the confluence of Ganga river and the Jalanji rivers in the Bengal. Nadia again. It was also a center of trade and commerce, learning and culture. Nadia University. A center of trade and commerce, also a center of learning and culture. So this is about the Nadia University. Now, briefing up, in ancient India, monasteries and huge sacred places had been established to assemble and also conduct certain debates. Okay, and most of the universities are seen to have ended around 12th century. So most of the universities seem to have ended around the 12th century. It can be through the way of destruction or anything. The destruction of these centers and other places across the northern India was responsible for loss of ancient Indian knowledge. So basically we will see that yesterday itself in the class I told you that we cannot clearly put a distinction between where ancient India ends, where the medieval Indian history starts, where the medieval India ends, and the modern India or the contemporary India starts. So we cannot put a definite demarcation for all these. But according to certain incidents or certain events and on the basis of certain things, we broadly make a classification as ancient, medieval and modern India or contemporary India. But this is not accurate. So we cannot definitely say that this is where the ancient India ended. So basically what happened following the ancient Indian history, ancient India is supposed to be the history until we had the Hindu rulers and all, Aryans and the Hindu rulers, etc. But medieval India is considered to begin in India when the Muslim rulers from the Arab countries, the Turkey and all came to India and established their kingdom in India. So basically when we enter into the second phase, that is the medieval India, due to the Arabic invasions or we can say the Islamic dynasties were established in India during the medieval period. So during that time we have seen that many ancient universities in India were destroyed and distracted. Examples are Nalanda, some parts of Nalanda University, like some library of the Nalanda, Taxila, etc. Then again we have seen that Yeah, Vikramshila. Vikramshila was a very famous university, very important university. It was destroyed by Bhaktiar Khilji. So we will see that many universities were destroyed during the coming phases, coming times. So because of this destruction of the universities, we were not able to get much knowledge, or we lost some of the ancient Indian knowledge. Okay, so it is through the universities, the places and all, we understand what was the culture during that time, what was the society like during that time, etc. So destruction of many universities has also led to the loss of many ancient Indian knowledge as well. Okay, so we will wind up here. If you have any doubts, we will discuss that also, then we will wind up. Tomorrow we will be taking up the next topic, that is yes, tomorrow we will see evolution of higher learning and research in post-independence India. So this is the topic that we will be discussing tomorrow. Okay. We will see how the higher education, learning and research evolved in the post-independence India. That is after 1947 till now, how did the higher education system in India developed. So if you have any doubts, we will quickly go through the slides. We will take 2 minutes and then quickly go through the slides. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. So yeah, you can quickly go through, you can revise it. I'll take maximum 2 minutes. You can, by that time you can revise it. You can just read the slides. You will get some more idea. And after attending the class, if you can revise that day itself, it's more helpful for you. So if you don't find time, otherwise you can do it in the class itself, now itself. I'll give you just 2 minutes. I will just show you the slides also, so that you can quickly glance through them and retain them in your memory. Okay. When I take the classes, you may feel that everything is understood, but you have to read it again. Then only you will get the clarity. So please go through it. Hi Shamna. Rani, can you explain about formal and informal education system? Okay, formal and informal education system, the difference is that in the formal education system, we can say Gurukula education, all these were formal education system where the students were sent to a formal institution like Gurukulas or the universities or some centers of education like temples and all. So this is called formal education. Informal education means through the word of mouth or through reading some textbooks or something like that, which was not at all a formal kind. That is the basic difference. So here 6 systems of philosophy is important. Then epics are important. So epics are important, Ramayana and Mahabharata, and they are very important even now. I think the importance have increased only. Then the names of the ancient educational institutions are important. Then coming to Buddhist era education, very important. Kaushalya is asking me, where is Mithila University located? Mithila University is is near to Bihar, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Most of the universities were either in the western side or in the eastern side. Mostly whichever universities were established by the Palas and all, it was in the Bengal region, Bihar Bengal region, because the Pala dynasty was there only in the Bihar Bengal belt. Okay. So all those universities are there. Today only came your live, really very nice ma'am. Okay, thank you so much Dilip Kumar, thank you so much. Tomorrow also same time we will meet at 7:30. Okay, 7:30 is the time, and if there is any change we will inform you in the Telegram channel. So usually 7:30 is the time. Okay. Then we discussed about all these. Then we discussed about other ancient universities. Okay, Taxila, then Nalanda, Vallabhi, Vikramshila. Thank you, Kausalya. And Sharanya, tomorrow same time. Same time 7:30. And if there is any change, I will let you know. Okay, if there is any change. Telegram link, Telegram, my Telegram channel is Joycey Joy Official, but I will not be updating there about the class timings and all. So you can just subscribe to our DigiiMento Education channel. You can subscribe. Thank you, Dilip. Thank you, Sharanya. Thank you, Kausalya. So Vikramshila, then Mithila, Odantapuri, Somapura, Nadia, So this is all. So any more doubts, anything else? So tomorrow we will meet at the same time, 7:30. So until then, do take care, study really well, and also be calm, be cool. Any other doubts, anything you want to ask me, I will just answer. Hi Manikantan, thank you so much Manikantan. So anything else, any other doubts? So tomorrow the timing is 7:30, live classes. So live will be at 7:30 p.m. and do join our Telegram channel. There we will be updating about all the sessions. Okay, you can join, and there is one Telegram channel, that is DigiiMento Education, where you will get all the general announcements. Otherwise, there are some batch-wise channels also. Somebody else can comment about those batch-wise channels so that the others can also join. So I think you can join the DigiiMento Education, where you will get the updates about the classes. And if you like the classes, please do like this video, and also please do share this video with your friends also, and tell them to join our classes from tomorrow. All the paper 1 topics, the paper 1 will be completed in the YouTube channel, and this will be free of cost. So paper 1 full we will be providing free of cost, and paper 2 for electronic sciences and the computer sciences we are providing online courses. You can visit our website to find more details about the online courses that we provide. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Good night. So hello friends. Welcome to DigiiMento. Today we will be taking up this topic, evolution of higher education or higher learning and research in the post-independence India. That is after 1947. How did the system of higher learning or higher education and the research evolved in the post-independence India? This is regarding those government policies which were taken after independence, that is after 1947. So this is the second module which is given in your syllabus for your preparation. Very important. Government policies and all will come under this. We will discuss it in detail. Okay. So let's begin. But before that, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe, and also please do press the bell icon for receiving the notifications. And also if you are preparing for GATE, NTA, UGC NET or PGT Computer Science, you can avail our online courses which are available, and also you can visit our website www.digimento.com for more details, and also you can call to this number for getting more information. Okay. Now, if you are watching this video, please do let me know. Send me a hi, hello, so that I'll know that you are watching the video, so that we can quickly start the session. Yeah, I think we will just start with the introduction. By then others can also join. Sumati is asking me, hi, good evening Sumati, hope your Amma is fine now. Yes, my mom is fine now. She's getting better. Tomorrow she has a review. Hopefully things are fine now. Thank you so much Sumati. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we will quickly start with the introduction. So India as a knowledge hub, India is known as a knowledge hub since the beginning of human civilization. Why? Because we have seen that the ancient universities like the Nalanda University, especially the Taxila or otherwise known as the Taxila University, these are all the oldest universities in the world itself. So India is known as a knowledge hub since the beginning of human civilization. And another thing is that now there are certain kind of knowledge that the Indian education system provides, and which is in great demand in other countries since the ancient times. So for example, Ayurveda or Vedic studies, all these are exclusive privilege of India, and since the ancient times itself there is a great demand for studying these subjects all over the world. So India is considered to be a knowledge hub. Now knowledge and education is two different things. Knowledge is something that we know, the knowledge that we have. Now education is the process through which this knowledge is being imparted. Okay. So yeah, so education and knowledge is different, and that is why just mentioning it here. So we must have heard that many reports, many government documents, even the economic survey has many times pointed out that Actually, in India, the quality of education is very low. It doesn't mean that India is not a knowledge hub. We are a knowledge hub for sure, but there are certain problems with the knowledge that we impart through education system. So the system of education needs to undergo structural changes, and the new education policy is one such initiative to bring the structural changes. So please do not confuse. So you must have read in several reports regarding the education system in India, which is weak, and the output of the education system is less. But it does not mean that we do not possess the knowledge. It's not in terms of knowledge, but it is in terms of the process by which this knowledge is being delivered to the people. Okay. Hi Das, I'm good. How are you, Das? Jenny, hall ticket must be available soon. Okay, so yeah. Now, Indian education system has witnessed metamorphic changes and challenges through the years. Now, what is meant by metamorphic changes? Metamorphic means very significant changes, or the structure itself, the structural changes. So, the education system in India has witnessed, seen metamorphic changes and challenges through the years. Changes as well as challenges. Now, we started with the Gurukula system of education, which is considered to be one of the oldest system of formal education in India. And now we have reached at the modern technology-based learning system. So, since then, that is from the Gurukula system of education, which is considered to be one of the oldest forms of formal education in India, to the modern technology-based learning system, the education system in India has undergone a drastic change, or a very, very significant change. And the educational system changed the lives of millions of people. Why educational system changed the lives of millions of people? Because through education, the perspective. First of all, we should talk about the perspective. If you have read any of the history textbooks, or at least you must have read history in the school times. So, one of the major reforms that the British or the British colonial era brought to India was the educational reformation. So when they introduced English education in India, they also introduced, along with the English education, the Western ideas, the thoughts. So when we talk about how the education system has changed the life of millions of people, we must start thinking from the ancient times. Now, if we take the ancient times, starting from the Gurukula system of education, in the Gurukula system and all those forms of ancient education, we know that these students were imparted with knowledge, skills, etc., and even values. So, education system has imbibed value system, skill, and also knowledge in the students in the ancient times. Then when we come to the colonial era, that is the British era in India, we know that it was then the English education was introduced in India. So the English education also brought together with it the Western ideas. It was not just they were giving education in English, or as a medium English was used, but rather than that, the most important part there is that they tried to bring Western ideologies into India. Now, it was as a result of that, as a result of the Western ideologies, the Western ideas, and the liberal ideas from the West, that many socio-religious reform movements took place in India. So that is a very important contribution of the education system. So don't think that education is just for giving you some knowledge, making you employable, or giving you some skills. It is not just that for that. It is only one dimension of education. But education is a very broader concept with which an overall development of an individual takes place. Now, if we look back into the British era, what happened? In the British era, when the English education was introduced, as I said, many socio-religious reform movements started taking place in India as a result of the Western values and the liberal values imbibed through the English education. Examples. There are many examples in the history. For example, abolition of sati, abolition of child marriage. So all these are several examples we see from the history that education has contributed to a religious reformation. We know that in the ancient times, starting from the later Vedic period, the practice of sati, there was child marriage, the women were given lower grades in the society starting from later Vedic. Before that, women were considered equal to men. But from the later Vedic period, there were religious issues, or rather we can say there was caste related issues, religion related issues, the upper class, mid or the lower class based on religion and caste. All these emerged. In the previous class, we discussed about how the Varna system emerged in the early Vedic period. It was based on the profession and a person was free to choose the profession. But coming to the later Vedic period, the Varna was, or the race was determined on the basis of birth. So all these kind of religious atrocities or social evils existed in India a long back. But how did all these came to an end? It was through the socio-religious reform movements. There are many socio-religious reformers in India. Like for example, Rajaram Mohan Roy is there. Then there is many others. Even Gandhiji was a very important socio-religious reformer in the sense that he worked towards the eliminating the caste system or eliminating the untouchability. So in all that sense, we saw many socio-religious reformers coming into India, adopting the Western values. The Western values uphold liberty, equality, and all those kinds of values. So in the colonial era, the educational system, it changed or transformed the lives of people in all these ways. It also imbibed English education for the very first time in India. Then again, some of the technical universities were started in India. All those were contributions from the colonial era. Then after the colonial era, that is post 1947, post independence, after getting in the independence, the leaders thought that education should be a priority of the government, and various commissions were appointed to conduct research or to give recommendations to the government to make changes in the educational system. So even though here we have to mention definitely something, that is the budgetary allocation to the educational sector is very low in India, which is one among the lowest in the world itself among the developing countries. So that is one thing that we have to definitely mention about when we talk about this. But still, we are gradually trying to reform our educational system. We are trying to improve the quality of our educational system and to bring structural reforms. And in this context, the new education policy is definitely going to be a milestone. So this is how the educational system changes the lives of millions of people. It is not restricted to employability. It is not restricted to skill development. It is not restricted to English education, but it includes, or it is a culmination of many other factors. Like for example, how the person's perspective changes. Now you must have seen it by yourself. It's not just about education or attending the schools. If you read a book, definitely your perspective, your thinking perspective changes. So education has a huge role, or a very important role, in shaping the perspectives and the attitude of the students. So your character formation, the values that you imbibe through your schools and your college, the value system, then your skills, your knowledge, all these are a contribution from the educational system that you have undergone. So this is how the educational system changes the life of millions of people. And be very happy and proud that you are preparing for an exam which will make you future academicians, and definitely you will play a key instrumental role in changing the lives of many people. And you know, that's a real blessing. I believe that being a teacher is a real blessing. So I wish you all the very best. Hi Lipika, hi Puviri, hi Ranju, hi Deepak. Sumati is asking me, there is a request, kindly take a class on topic comprehension. Okay, let's see. In this week I'll try to take a class on comprehension. Okay, we'll do that definitely. Okay. So is this clear for you? Now let's come to the timeline pre-independence. That is, we will see here the chronology of events before independence, how the educational system in India developed to its present form. So first we will see the pre-independence India, that is before 1947. So chronology is anyways very important for your examination. Now, in the ancient India, we had the Gurukul system, which is considered to be the oldest form of formal education. So, oldest form of formal education. Okay, Lipika said it's clear. Okay, thank you, Lipika. So, after that, we had the Buddhist monasteries, the 7th century BC Buddhist monasteries, and the 3rd century AD, we had the Nalanda University. Then invasions and disorder in the country has extinguished many ancient Indian education system. We know that yesterday we discussed about it, especially during the Mughal period. So we will see that especially during the Mughal period, the country has seen many disorders or many loss of many important ancient educational institutions and system. Then in 1918, that is during the colonial era, the first college was set up in Serampur in Bengal, imparting Western education. So this was the first college which was set up in Serampur in Bengal, imparting the Western education. Then in 1857, we had 3 central universities established by the British again, which were the universities of Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. Now, why Calcutta, Bombay and Madras? Because these 3 were the 3 presidencies. Okay, 3 presidencies during the colonial era. So, we had 3 presidencies, Bengal, Bombay and Madras, and out of these 3, Calcutta, or we can say Bengal, was the most important presidency. Okay. 3 central universities of Calcutta, Bombay and Madras were set up, and 27 colleges were affiliated to these universities. And in 1947, that is during the time we got independence, we had 19 universities in India. So, we had 19 universities when we got independence. The higher education system in India has grown in remarkable way after the post-independence period and became the largest higher education system in the world after US and China. So after US and China, India is the 3rd largest higher educational system. India has the 3rd largest higher educational system in the world. Okay. So this is also an important fact. Next, the Indian higher education system developed its own system and structure with the promotion of union and state governments. Now, we developed our own system and structure. We did not copy it from the Western countries completely, or we did not copy it from any other countries. So, we developed our own system and structure, and the union government as well as the state governments contributed to it. We know that we have many central universities, we have many state universities. There are many universities and institutions which get the aid and support from the central government as well as from the state governments. So, we have our own system and also we have our own structure. Then the linkage between learning, research and innovation within higher education is the key to building of sustainable knowledge societies. So, linkage, the link between learning, research and innovation within the higher education, it's a key to the building of sustainable knowledge societies. So these are the 3 important factors. One is learning, another one is research, another one is innovation. Learning will lead to research, then research will lead to innovation. So this is how 3 of them are interlinked to each other. Now, different types of universities and institutions based on the provisions for academic, administrative and financial flexibility were set up. So, different types of universities and institutions were set up in India, and it was based on the provisions for academic, administrative and financial flexibility. The central and the state universities, unitary and affiliating universities, institutions of national importance, deemed to be universities and open universities are some of the categories of universities and institutions that we have in India. So, these are some of the categories. Okay, so we have central universities, state universities, unitary universities, affiliating universities, that is which are affiliated, then institutions of national importance, then we also have deemed to be universities, which is autonomous universities, deemed to be universities, and open universities. Example, IGNOU is an open university. It is the largest open university in India. IGNOU, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Now, regarding the funding and the support, the central government through the UGC, that is the University Grants Commission, or the AICTE, provides the grant and the financial support to various state-run universities. Now, AICTE is for the technical universities, whereas the UGC is for the other universities. So, UGC is University Grants Commission, and also we have the AICTE, All India Council of Technical Education. So, AICTE and UGC. Universities in India functionally are multi-faculty universities, single faculty universities, and institutions of national importance. Okay, so multi-faculty universities means so multi-faculty university, it means that more than one subject is taught in those universities. The normal arts colleges, they have more than one department. So not just department, subject. We can say apart from department, we can say that different subjects. So different subjects are taught. Then there are single faculty universities, like there are agricultural universities, technological universities, and medical universities, where there is only one subject which is taught. One subject in the sense that one course is taught. And the institutions of national importance, like the IITs, IIMs, etc. Then we also have the deemed to be universities, BITS, and then IASC, etc. Indian Institute of Science, the BITS Pilani, etc. Now, regarding the governance of the universities in India, so the universities and institutions in India are governed by multiple agencies, and the apex body is the UGC. So, UGC, or the University Grants Commission, is the apex body, but there are multiple agencies which govern the universities. Now, the rules and regulations by these agencies makes higher education system more complex. So, these governing bodies, they make or they come up with their own rules and regulations. So, these rules and regulations, they make the higher education system in India more complex. And there are various stakeholders in the regulatory framework. So, different stakeholders undertake the regulatory function. Regulatory means regulating the conduct of the universities. So various stakeholders are there in the regulatory framework. It includes the state governments, the professional councils. An example of professional council is UGC, AICTE, etc. So, this essentially means that the rules and regulation made by these multiple agencies, we have seen that the governance of these universities and institutions are done by multiple agencies. So, governance by these multiple agencies and as the UGC as the apex body makes it very complicated, because when there are multiple agencies, there will be multiple rules and regulations which makes the process complicated. Now, various stakeholders in this regulatory framework, that is various stakeholders which undertake regulatory activities with regard to the functioning of these universities. They are state governments, professional councils, etc. So, when there are more than one regulation or more than one level of regulation and governance, it makes the process little more complicated. Now, let's come to the higher education in India post-independence. And then we will discuss some of the very important commissions set up by the government of India of post-independence regarding the upliftment of educational system in India. So, we will be discussing about all these. So, I think today we will take up the commissions or the committees also. There are just 4 or 5 committees. I think we will complete that also. Okay. So, if you have any doubt until what we have learned, let me know. We will clarify it and move further. Neeraj, hello. Good evening, Neeraj. So, tell me if you have any doubts. You can just go through the lecture notes that you have written, or you can just recollect what we have learned. So if any doubts, you can ask me. I'll give you some 1 minute for that, and after that we will continue. Ravi Kumar is asking me, are you going to start any lecture series or just a video? No, it's a lecture series. This is the third lecture in the series. The previous ones you can find it in our channel, DigiiMento's channel itself. You can find the previous videos, and we will be continuing that. Every day we have live classes scheduled at 7:30. 7:30 to 8:15 is the time. 45 minutes every day. So it's a series. So if it's clear for you, let me know.